into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello and welcome to the King of the Nerds AfterBuzz After Show here on AfterBuzz. If you haven't already, make sure you go to youtube.com/AfterBuzz and hit subscribe. Also, we're on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can subscribe there as well. We would like it if you did. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. You can tweet at me during the show at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And of course, Xander Jeanneret is with me.
Hello, I'm back.
Where can they tweet at you?
You can tweet at me at Xanderific, 2 R's, 1 F.
Awesome. We're jumping into Do They Choose Wisely or Poorly?
I like your ellipses in there.
Well,
The title.
there are dots.
Yep.
I gotta pause.
Yeah.
We have soon we will be talking to someone. Ori.
Oh, Ori.
Poor Ori.
I know. He went out so valiantly.
He did. He's so brave.
Remember your training, young squire.
I wanted to hit that guy. But I feel like, and I can't wait to talk to him because I feel like he was so abused.
Oh, yeah.
We're at, what, 4 episodes in?
Yeah.
And he has been just abused episode after episode.
Yep, yeah.
By Heather.
Oh.
Mostly.
Well, yeah, there was other people too.
Yes.
And abused is a very strong word. He was just talked to very sternly in the heat of moments.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he took the fall for a lot of stuff.
Right.
But we'll talk to him. I like we open the episode with the Horcruxes.
Yes.
And I can't wait to ask him what he thinks his Horcrux is. Do we have Ori on the line?
It looks like it.
Oh, almost.
And he might have a special little guest with him.
Ori, are you there?
Can you hear me, or am I just talking to nothing?
We can hear you.
We can hear you!
Yay! So I was a little bored while waiting, so I found the center of a mass of a Pikachu.
Oh! You should write out the equation for that.
That's actually pretty easy. It's the derivative of mx dx
Pika,
from 0 to
Pika.
x for the x part, and then, well, you get the idea.
Yeah.
I'm so lost. No, but I really like the Daleks behind you.
And I meant integral, my bad.
Yeah.
Oh god, my teachers would hate me for that. But
Oh my goodness. Hi.
hi.
We're really sad.
Yeah.
I'm a little sad too.
But we were just saying that you went out very valiantly, very bravely.
As a knight, or a knight in training.
Yeah.
Well, I did overcome my fear of snakes, so.
Yeah. Was that a legit fear, like a phobia that you had, or was it just?
No, it was more like I've never dealt with snakes before. So it's like, what? Holy shit, they're actual snakes. I thought they were there'd be rubber snakes.
Yeah.
I was like, of course, there's gonna be some sort of snakes in the urn to get the knife. And nope, real snakes. So I was just trying not to disturb the snakes because I just don't want to hurt animals, but I just don't know how to deal with them. So it's just like trying to be gentle. And I saw Colby already was grabbing for the knife. She's like, oh shit, so I had to scramble and get it out.
And for those of you wondering, because we had a few comments about it, the knives that were in there were sheathed. So even if you grabbed it and pulled it out, you weren't going to hurt the snakes.
That was my biggest concern.
Yeah.
They were indeed sheathed. And we were told that specifically, and we were not allowed to unsheath them until after we were finished running.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Oh, also really good.
Yeah.
Although, me being a LARPer, I actually did it a little earlier, so I tried to do it in one strike, but it didn't work. It made me sad. Because obviously it wasn't designed for a one slash, because that's not this fun.
It's not a sword.
Right.
Oh man, it would have been so much more epic if I one-shotted the rope like I one-shotted the whip.
It would have been. But you had an epic like slow-mo shot when you were coming down and going past the boulder.
Oh my god,
that was really cool.
I accidentally dropped my hat. It was like.
But you even like kind of slow motion grabbed onto it like as you were coming down. It was very Indiana Jones.
The spirit of Indiana Jones was
so badass. I want to know, do you get to see what Horcrux they take after you leave?
So the first three, I don't think Jacob, Thomas, and Todd knew what their Horcruxes were.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, when I was leaving, I actually saw my Horcrux.
What is it?
I don't actually know if I'm allowed to tell.
Maybe not.
Why?
Because it'll be next episode.
It's technically spoilers and technically could be a lawsuit.
Oh, that's magical information right there.
but yeah,
let's just say they chose wisely.
But what a lot of people don't realize is they're very strict about it. Like once you're eliminated, like you get that hug or like the goodbye, and then you're whisked away and like secluded.
Wow.
Yep.
Where are you secluded?
Somewhere else on the set.
Oh.
Yeah. Although I'll talk about behind the scenes stuff another time. I'm not sure if I'm allowed, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got really used to the snakes. Although Colby did punch an albino snake, so PETA, get after them. Get after him right now.
Oh no,
Colby.
He was just like, he saw one coming up, and he was like, nope, punched it, grabbed the knife, and went.
I'm assuming they were all harmless snakes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they were all harmless. I did not know that. I assumed they were.
Right.
Just that initial fear of not knowing what they were. It's like spiders.
Yeah.
I'm not actually afraid of spiders. I just don't know if they're poisonous or not. So I just scoot them. Don't actually try to touch them and put them away. I don't like, oh, spider, squish.
I feel like they should have been like, all of these snakes are harmless, except there's one poisonous snake.
And if it gets you.
If they did that, I would have legit had a heart attack.
That's so funny. All right, let's talk about voting yourself into the Nerd Off.
Oh, man. So it was actually a bit of a no-brainer because unfortunately I couldn't convince anybody else to vote someone else in. Mm-hmm. Like I was trying to go with, like, Jonathan tried to break the Amanda pair or something else, just not to.
Amanda.
Yeah, they are quite a couple on the show, behind the scenes too. They love to cuddle.
Yeah. Well, that made it, I think it's 3 for 3 then for nerds who voted themselves off in the show, or voted themselves into the Nerd Off, have gone home. Because it was Hendrik, Mujige, and now you. I think that's...
Well, I just did it not because, I'm going to, I wanted to be cool.
Right.
But or I wanted to show myself how I was like, I'm just going to do this not to seem like an ass.
Right. Yeah, there's different reasons.
I couldn't choose anybody else. And I accepted defeat honorably.
You definitely
really
did. I think there was a really great line from Colby where he describes you. He says that nothing he ever did was out of malice or personal gain. Mm-hmm. And I feel like all we've lost now are good people.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a fair assessment that everybody on the show are essentially good people.
But like the nicer people. I mean, aside from the one explosion last episode.
Yeah, Todd kind of was like turned into like a mouse in a corner having to defend itself.
Right.
And yeah, I remember Todd, I felt really bad for Todd, also like mixed feelings because I didn't like what he did, but I kind of understood what he was going for, and I felt really bad that like the atmosphere he created and how people must have thought that we hated him or something.
Yeah. But I think we just keep losing the nicer, the people who are left are the people who've made alliances and are playing in a strategic and
Right.
personal gain kind of way.
Yeah, yeah.
And the people we've lost so far are all the kind-hearted, but like just purely innocent. And it's like, get rid of the innocence.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Jacob was definitely not an innocent one. You just don't know it because
Yeah.
he got off the first episode. He wanted to play alliances. He's just a jovial, loves people, loves hanging out with people kind of guy. And that he just wanted to pull a Xander, shall we say.
But at the end of the day, it is a game, and it's not that people have malice or anything like that or ill intent. It's just that you're there playing a game, and that some people, like in a board game, you can be very intense in the game, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about your awesome rap skills.
Sure. Let's talk about my supposed rap skills.
Did you, when you were told that you guys were doing this nerd anthem battle, did you have an idea in mind what you wanted to do before your team came up with a rap?
I kind of wanted to do more of a rockish thing. Just thinking like, the rap won last time because it had so many nerd references, but it wasn't nearly as catchy. Or memorable, because I still don't actually remember what it is. And talk nerdy to me can still get in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
So I wanted to go more rock. In hindsight, because I recently took a modern musical class from Hair to Hairspray.
Oh, cool!
That's awesome.
Yeah, so what I would have done was try to base it off of Spring Awakening.
Yes, that would have gotten my vote. I love that show.
I loved it. Wish all shitty quality of it because I couldn't see it live, but
It's great.
I just loved the dancing.
Yeah.
Loved the singing. It just really screamed teen rebellion.
Yep, yeah.
It's not quite. It's similar to nerd culture, but not quite as teen angsty. So I was thinking, try to change it up from it, but definitely like that type of sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But hindsight's 2020, so
Right.
Yeah.
it made sense at the time.
I had a question for you. At the end of Team Smash's thing, you guys all dropped dice as like a mic drop type of thing.
Yeah, that was a goof.
What, a goof?
Yeah, you mean the dice drop?
Yeah. But you had something else in your hand, and it looked like a piece of paper, maybe?
Yeah, that was a piece of paper.
Well, I just was wondering like what that was, or if it was anything.
So my pockets were really deep in that leather jacket.
Uh-huh.
So I stuffed in paper to
so that you could grab the dice
I only
easy.
get like 3 or 4 seconds to get the dice out.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Which is funny because I have a set of. Sorry, let me demonstrate it right now.
Yeah, this is how it should have gone.
All right, so I had D10s and D20s because I only knew how to use D10s and D20s at the time.
D6s are pretty standard too.
No, well, I used Rogue Trader, so it was D100s all the time.
Oh, okay.
I've only recently done D&D and Pathfinder.
Uh-huh.
I'm growing as a nerd.
Yeah.
So this is the greatest conversation ever.
So I problem is my pockets were deep and it was in the crevice of the pocket. So I was so hard to get to, so I had to stuff paper in. So I knew this might happen, so I kept practicing. And to drop the dice and things. And I failed, and I dropped it. I was like, damn it.
But
I
didn't
should have just dropped it and walked away without worrying about it. But that didn't happen. Sorry, dropped the dice. I got a 4. Nice.
From the audience, though, actually watching it in person, I didn't really notice. But when you get to watch it again and again on TV, it's like, oh, what was that? What was that thing?
Yeah, I actually grab it while I go out because I was so embarrassed.
It's fine.
I really should have just not cared at all, but whatever.
I want to discuss Moby.
Fuck Moby?
Oh!
Okay.
I maybe being Mr. Nice Guy, but he was a pretentious prick. And that's without him, being a dick. So, I don't know.
Wow.
I just loved the dancing. I loved the singing. It just really screamed teen rebellion. And that's without him, being a pretentious prick. And that's without him, being a pretentious prick. And that's without him, being a pretentious prick. And that's without him, bullying me.
Right.
And I really didn't care about that. Just a lot of the rest of the stuff he said, especially he was trying to. I think what he was trying to do was show how he was a nerd.
Right.
Just, oh, I know Star Trek too.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think he accidentally went like, I know more Star Trek than you. My nerd dick is bigger than yours.
Yeah. And he was even wrong about his fact because it's just Worf that drinks prune juice. Right.
So Kayla told me.
Yeah, because the rest of the Klingons drink blood wine, and that's their drink before going into war.
And apparently Lily is wrong. Kayla has a Hamlet in Klingon book.
I am not surprised whatsoever.
And I might, one of my list, I have 3 things on my list from after leaving that I have to do. Buffy and Angel, which
Yes.
I've finished.
Nice.
It took me like 4 or 5 months, but I finished Buffy and Angel in order.
Wow, well done.
Wait,
No, I just-
no, that means you had too much free time to do other things. You were doing other things.
No, well done.
I was doing other things. I was getting A's in my classes and as a mechanical engineering student, except for
Whatever.
a B- in fluids, because fuck fluids. But,
Okay, so you finished that. What were the other things on
and
your
then
list?
Battlestar Galactica
Nice.
Uh-huh.
and Star Trek.
Awesome.
All of Star Trek?
The Star Trek one is a long-term goal.
Yeah, yeah.
A very long-term
It
goal.
is.
So I'm going to try watching it in order and seeing what happens.
I like
But-
Next Generation. That's my favorite Star Trek.
My first Star Trek was actually, I think it was called Enterprise, the one
Yep.
that was on the old Sci-Fi Channel.
Sure, yeah.
But that's because my family isn't nerdy at all, so they didn't actually try to get me into it. All my nerd stuff is self-found, unfortunately.
Sure.
I know what that's like.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
But yeah, plus I'm trying to do all that, plus all of the anime and DC stuff I watch.
Right, right.
Yeah. Well,
I
stop
I
going
watch
to
a
school.
metric buttload of anime.
It's a good unit of measurement. Well, thank you so much.
I have one more question.
Go for it.
So I don't know if you saw it or not, but on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/XanderVlogs,
Smooth.
my number one moment from this episode was the bow that you and Colby do when you get up. So I said, it's kind of unprecedented. Like, you get up and you bow, which I expected, like, from a LARPer after hearing information. But then Colby kind of, like, awkwardly follows your example, and it ends up with a great moment of the two of you bowing. I just wanted to know if you had any comments about that.
I barely remember it. It probably was just default for me.
Yeah. After rising from a
actually
knee,
also,
bowing.
I remember after the bow, I actually went.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly felt it was might have been my last nerd or day in Nerdvana. So
Sure.
I thought I'd bow graciously and leave.
Yeah.
With Colby joining me,
It was
I
great.
guess that was just like, oh, I can imagine Colby's head is like, oh, we're doing this, and he
Yep.
just joins
Yeah.
me.
Well, I want to know, before we let you go, did you know about the Secret Six?
I do not know about the Secret Six. I thought I left playing the game as hard as I could, doing the best I could, but apparently if I had known that little bit of information, I could have played a little harder. And I wish I had known, but I didn't. So I felt fulfilled at the time. When I come back, we shall see.
Yeah,
Also, just one last thing I wanted to mention.
of course.
When Colby was first hugging me and everything,
Yeah.
I was like, Colby, I want you to look at me. Now that I'm leaving, you gotta do something for me. Get me George Takei's autograph. And I legit told him that.
Yeah.
And because I was so looking forward to George Takei, because he's such a great guy,
Right.
great sense of humor, and a
Yeah.
very noble dude.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess I can't ask if that happened.
Nope.
I cannot ask if you
it
got
might
it.
happen. It might not happen.
Spoilers.
What?
And congratulations on your girlfriend getting you a fez.
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently I had to complain about it on national television. Toucan of Fez.
I mean, yeah,
Relationship goals.
that's what you do. You want a fez, you say, my girlfriend doesn't let me have a fez.
Yeah.
And now she has to get you a fez. Smooth. That's how you play it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I got to air.
All right, before we let you go, why don't you let people know where they can find you on Twitter, Instagram, wherever else you are?
I don't have an Instagram. You
Okay.
can find me at Pickle King for Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook at the One Pickle King.
Are you the one who threw the pickle at Bobby in the premiere?
Maybe. Maybe not.
I like it.
Timey-wimey.
Yeah, seriously.
Wibbly
Sciencey
wobbly.
wincy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to us. It has
No
been a
problem.
pleasure. We miss you.
Thanks, Ori. You can't see
I
it,
miss
but
you
I'm
guys
doing the
too.
heart.
We're doing
I'm
hearts.
gonna play Drunken Smash.
Yay! Who do you main as?
I actually have never played on the Wii, but or Wii U. I usually play main as Wolf on the Wii.
Oh,
so this
wow.
is gonna be a fun experience,
Yeah.
especially with drug.
Yeah. So fast.
All right, well, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Miss you, Xander.
Bye. I miss you too.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Before we get back into the show, we have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Moby.
Right.
Moby the dick. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But I want to remind everyone that we clearly are fans of
Yes.
this show. We appreciate everything you guys do, and we ask you to do some very simple things for us. Go on to iTunes, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sad if you haven't already. And leave us a comment, a rating, and a review, because we will then read it out on the air. That's right, we have a review.
Yay.
I'm gonna read it. This is what you get. for doing it. You're welcome. All right, so this is a review from Big by Wolfman 1. 5 stars. Awesome. Great companion podcast for the show. Xander as a co-host was awesome.
Yay.
And it would be great if he came back for more episodes.
Oh, okay.
Look
Wish
at that.
granted.
Yeah. Guys, make a wish. It might come
Right?
true.
Yeah. But Curtis is fantastic as well.
Yeah, Curtis will be back with us
Yes.
soon.
Yep. Yeah.
Wish.
As soon as he's done filming.
Yeah, as soon as he's done being busy.
Right.
Jerk. Okay, so I loved the way it was introduced that they're doing a nerd anthem because you guys came back.
Yay!
You jumped out of a fountain.
I did.
Okay, so I want to know about this hidden jumping outy thing.
Yes.
Were you in the water for like 20 minutes?
I was longer than that. So what happened was we were kind of there already. We knew that we wanted to get involved with the show in some way. And a lot of us came out, like I was already out here, but people, the nerds flew out on their own dime. Like they just wanted to be a part of the show. And so they came up with the flash mob idea. And so we learned the choreography to talk nerdy to me. And then we were there on set after spending the day in rehearsal and was like, okay, everybody pick your spots where you're going to pop out of. And I casually mentioned, like, wouldn't it be funny if I came out of the fountain? And then there was like a ripple throughout all the producers, like, Xander's coming out of the fountain. That's happening. Copy that. Like, it just happened. Like,
this is why you don't make jokes like
I
that.
know, right? But yeah, so I squatted down in the fountain and we had to like rehearse it a couple of times.
Right.
So that's why you see like there's just wet spots all over the place before anything even happened.
You squatted. I imagine that you like were floating in
No.
the fountain because that's how you like stay low.
There's some space between like the water level and the edge of the fountain. So I had to like squat down and like the water was still pounding down. And so I had to like listen for the music because we got one shot to do it in front of the contestants. Like we did it once for camera and stuff like that. But then the contestants came out. That's what you got. So I had to sit there and wait for my cue in the music and like, I hope this is right. And just popped out. And then I had to get out of the fountain and go to my spot.
Yeah.
And I like shoulder check Genevieve out of the way just because like I'm so flustered and I'm soaking wet.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, sorry, Genevieve. Wow.
Well, it looked awesome.
Thank you.
It
Yeah.
looked great.
It was fun. And it was really hot out, so it was nice to be the one in the fountain.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably dried off real fast.
Yeah.
Oh, that was what a great surprise.
And seeing everybody back together again and celebrating the show, it was just so much fun.
Yeah. Did you guys get some Little Caesars pizza?
Maybe.
Ding.
Yeah.
That was
Start the counter.
Yeah, that was my favorite. My favorite moment of the episode was the counter of
Yeah.
every time they said it, like, we need to make sure we hit this number
Yeah.
for
And
the
then a bonus.
sponsorship. Yeah, done.
And it's become kind of like an inside joke type of thing, because people who are familiar with the show know that there's going to be a Little Caesars episode. Like, there's just going to be a little bit where they are like too happy about this pizza.
Right.
And it's kind of an in-joke now. And so some people that are new to it are like, what is this?
No, it was very clear.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you're new or not. This is a product placement joke we're making.
Right.
Here, enjoy.
Yeah.
Especially when Colby holds it up and is like, I can cosplay him.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, guys,
So great.
moving on.
Yeah.
And then the 2 songs were amazing.
I loved them.
I'm so glad we had the lyrics on the bottom of the screen.
Yes. Yeah. Especially like when they go really fast. It's hard to catch all the jokes.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed the rap song, and I enjoyed both songs a lot. And I want I think I want every song that has been done now. We have 4.
Well, we have one too. People seem to forget about this.
Tell me.
There's a clip. It's in episode 8, and there's me, and we're all very intoxicated, and I'm on the piano, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and start banging chords out on the piano, and then Jay Witz beatboxes and raps over.
So I want the 4 other ones. I want them on an album, and I think that like by season 7,
Right, we'll get
be
a full album.
That would be great. That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about these judges.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yep.
Curtis tweeted that Moby reached out to him later and was like, I'm afraid that I came off as a dick. And I wanted to be like, but yes, you did. He really, and I think Ori was right when he said that he was trying to show that he's a nerd too.
Right.
Which, I mean, maybe it's just the way it was edited for us, but as an audience, I feel like Curtis said he's also, or Curtis or Bobby, one of them said that he's all, Moby, who is this giant, internationally known artist, is also a nerd.
Yeah, and if you get that introduction, like, enough said. Like,
we get it.
Yeah.
You know Klingon.
Well,
Maybe.
Yeah.
You might know Klingon.
Right.
You also know that this is not the shape of a heart.
Yeah.
That was really frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
No.
Sir!
Like, sir, you do know.
You know what that means. It's like if somebody went like this to you and you're like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you can kind of figure it out.
It's a hashtag.
Yeah.
It is a hashtag, sir.
Yeah, but no, like watching it live in person too is just as awkward and just as like cringy as what it was there. And it did make for an interesting conversation that it opened it up for everybody to have. And I don't know what your feelings on with Heather sticking up for Ori was.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Heather, I said last episode that I got real upset because I could see myself in her. And I no longer do.
Oh.
Because, yes, Ori was, I guess, in her mind being bullied.
Sure.
But Moby was right when he says, girl, you are... That's how he said it. He's like, girl,
please.
Girl. Like, you do not argue with the judge until after he rules.
Right.
Like, you were still waiting.
Yeah.
And that is where I see myself different, as I would have held my tongue until later.
Right.
And then been like, when he voted against us, been like, listen, sir.
Yeah. But then it's too late. Then he can't change his vote or
I don't want him to change his vote.
Right.
I want to argue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that at that point, she even if he was going to vote for them, she killed it. I would never vote for someone who treated a judge that way.
Sure. Yeah. But again, it did open up a conversation, and she had a lot of points that she just wanted to get off of her chest at that time. And a lot of the contestants, we have to deal with this on a daily basis of people being like, oh, you're a nerd, prove it. Like, prove your nerd cred. Why are you chosen to be here? And
as a woman,
yeah,
who is a nerd,
right? Exactly.
I feel it.
Yeah,
I do know what that's like.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm sure that Heather has gotten it a lot too,
Right.
and she saw this happening to Ori and was like, "No, this is not going to happen. Not on my watch." And,
Right.
And let it rip.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does happen to a lot of people in nerd culture, and it's a thing that like it's an insular group, and so a lot of people feel like you have to prove yourself to be part of this group when you shouldn't have to, you know.
Right.
It's another label that you identify as.
Yeah.
Like if I identify as gay or I identify as male, like I don't have to prove my maleness to anybody. Unless you want me to.
Xander.
Yeah.
So Moby comes off as a dick.
Yep.
Heather comes off as a dick.
Kinda, yeah. And then Jonathan, like, clamping his hand on her mouth
Like,
is kind of
shut up.
hilarious.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jonathan, who is playing everybody.
Yeah, he's playing the game.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
And okay, so we've got a new alliance. I've called it the Secret Four because they didn't name themselves.
Right.
But the way the conversation happened,
Yeah.
it seemed, and it may be just the way it was presented to the audience, it seemed that Caitlyn and Jonathan made a Secret Four without telling the other two people.
Right. Because Caitlyn, in her mind, had figured out half of the Secret Six as being Ben, Lily, and Amanda.
Well, so I believe in her mind, it was she thinks it's just this.
Like Ben fan club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these girls want Ben.
Yeah, yeah.
And therefore, it's a thing.
Right. And so the only person left out on hers is Rochelle. And then
And Colby.
And Colby's on the other team, but yeah.
But in her this new alliance is Caitlyn, Jonathan, Colby, and Rochelle.
Yeah.
But she only talked to Jonathan.
Right. That we saw on camera. But yeah.
So is it safe to assume that Rochelle and Colby are in this alliance as well?
Maybe. And if that's what they're thinking, like Caitlyn and Jonathan think that would be a good final four,
right?
Then they don't really need to be in on the alliance until it comes up in like a nerd off voting scenario.
I disagree.
Oh, okay.
I feel like if you're gonna make an alliance,
yeah,
the people in it should know.
Right. It seemed more of it's not an alliance to keep us safe; it's an alliance to get them out, type of thing.
I see. All right.
To me,
yeah,
just as a viewer.
Yeah. Oh man, I have the list of the teams and I have all these crisscrosses.
Yeah.
And Jonathan points out that as soon as Ori's out, he has an alliance with everyone.
Right. That's left.
Yeah. Which, not to get into predictions, but I feel like that's gonna blow up in his face. And
yeah.
I really hope so.
Yeah, because you have cross alliances and something's got to break.
Yeah.
You know, at some point, someone is getting voted in that's on one of your alliances if you're in with everybody.
Yeah.
So
that's an interesting. And then when we get into the nerd off and Colby and Ori are put into it, Jonathan all of a sudden realizes that it's him and Ben versus women.
Yeah, because there's the girl power alliance as well.
And that they never like thought about that.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of girls left and they may have all come together.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Way early on. That's where we started with the alliances.
Yeah.
That's where the Secret Six came from.
Initially, yeah.
Was these 4 girls. Boys. What do you think we're doing in the bathroom? Putting on our makeup?
You're right, yeah.
We're doing that too.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about the nerd off.
Yes.
The Indiana Bones and the Temple of Nerds.
Yep.
What a difficult thing.
Hard, yeah.
10 names.
Yep. Yeah, and like I did some playtesting of the challenges ahead of time, and so how I was figuring it out when I tested it and in my mind was I was separating them into 2 categories. Who have I seen photographs of and who have I not?
Oh.
And I would divide it that way and be like, okay, I know these people are in this half and these people are in the other half.
Who is painted, who is photographed.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And so then it narrowed it down a little bit, and then I just shuffled it around until I got the right answer. And I was constantly like, this one, and like they're like, stop buzzing in.
It was 10 is so many.
It's so many.
There was there's a show called was it Hollywood Game Night
Yep.
where they have a similar-ish thing, but it's 6.
Yeah.
It's always 6.
Yeah.
And then
10.
they tell you how many are wrong.
Right, yeah.
This one, they're like 10. We can't, like, It might be all 10 are wrong.
Right.
It might be 2.
Yeah. I think this is one of the most intellectually challenging nerd offs that we've seen on the show in any season.
Yeah.
Like, you've had trivia before, but it's always multiple choice, so you
Right.
have a chance. This one is just completely like either you know it or you don't type of thing.
Yeah. Luckily, our history teacher,
Right.
that would have been so embarrassing.
Yeah, yeah.
As much as I love Ori, I spent the whole time being like, Colby can't lose. Like, you can't lose
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That would be like me going into a TV competition
Yep.
and me being, they'd be like, what's the show where all the nerds compete? Like, that's what that would be like.
Yeah, it's tough because you go into this competition with like 2 major fears. One is going home first, and the second one is failing at your specialty
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, Colby got it.
Yep.
I think the best part of what was shown was, I think it was Ori who got it, and they were like, nope, it's wrong, and he was like, oh, so close, and then it showed like 8 were wrong.
Yeah, 2 were right.
Yeah, like, it was way wrong. It was the humor on this show.
It's really great, and
Yeah.
a lot of it comes from the editing too.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. I have the right order for anyone who missed
yeah.
it. All right,
Here we go.
Da Vinci, Copernicus, Newton, Franklin, Mary Shelley, Tesla, Madame Curie, Einstein, Armstrong,
There it is.
Hawking.
Yep.
I wrote it down.
What a killer dinner party that would be.
I would be like, I don't have anything to talk about.
I cannot contribute to this conversation.
No. I can tell you who played all of you in movies.
Yeah.
I got this. I saw your movie and your movie. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Oh man. That was a really fun episode.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Indiana Jones.
Yep.
We had history. We had music.
So good.
We had drama. We had Moby. Oh, Moby.
Who knew that Moby would be the breakout star?
Yeah, I feel like I want to meet Moby.
Right.
And be like, sir, remember that time you were a dick?
I know. He's getting it on Twitter a lot. I see
Yeah.
a lot of people are tweeting at him.
And he knows it. And like the worst part is that he feels bad that he came off that way.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you're in a judging scenario, like you're just going to speak your mind, and this is what I thought, and sometimes it doesn't come across the best way.
I think Rochelle puts it the best is she was really happy that Moby was like, neither of you did well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at least you both sucked. So
Yeah.
there's that. That's refreshing.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. I think we've covered this episode thoroughly.
Yep.
Let us head into prediction. Where's the sound? And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions. Okay, we're going with me.
Okay.
All right. It seems next week is going to be the first ever game night.
Yeah, nerdy game night.
And it looks like they're going to be doing party games, which they seem to not be familiar with.
Oh.
I mean, at least somebody in their confessional was like, I'm not familiar with party games.
No.
I feel like it was Lily.
Oh, maybe.
And it looks like the Secret Six comes to an end because they have to vote someone in.
Yep, it's going to have to happen.
The only person left who's not in, well, we only have 2 who are not in the Secret Six.
Right.
So Colby and Caitlin.
And they're on opposite teams.
Yeah. So. And
One way or another.
Yeah. And this episode, we saw this nice, like the other team saying, Colby is your Caitlin.
Right, exactly.
And I think that's a great way to like that way you can vote him in as many times as you want.
Yeah.
He's a threat. We don't want him.
Right. And in the past, we've kind of had it where the team captains have been the targets with like Genevieve and Ivan, and then Chris and Zach have been kind of like the targets. And now, even though there weren't team captains or picking, they've kind of sussed out 2 kind of team captains who lead them in the Nerd Wars.
I don't know if I agree
that
they're the leaders.
Right.
Especially because this episode specifically, they said that Colby was, this was the first time that he is kind of taking the lead.
Sure.
Because he was ready to rap.
Yeah.
Which
Him
was
being Scottish
Yeah,
and all.
that Scottish thing really came in helpful. But I think it's I think they came out as threats because everybody else has this pop culture.
Sure.
And they might have an academic side, but Colby and Caitlin have like a serious, like Caitlin with her, I build robots.
Yeah. And then what a voice on Caitlin coming out on the blue team. I mean, all of them had great voices, but her singing, I was surprised. Right? And that she used to dance. Yeah. She gave it up for horses. Right. Oh God, that animation. We didn't see it this episode. No, we didn't. I'm sad. Okay. So my predictions. Predictions are that Jonathan is going to get screwed over. He is in some way effed himself by all of these manipulative because the girl power alliance could come after him, the secret six could come after him, and then this new four could come after him. But also last episode last episode he didn't want to vote Caitlyn, and he was like, we might as well disband the secret six. I don't want to re-vote Caitlyn in, right? Because I feel like a jerk doing that. Yeah, I feel like his loyalty to the secret six is waning. Or it was never there to begin with. And I think that the Amanda, Heather, Ben love triangle, Amanda, Heather, Ben, Lily love quadrangle. Yeah. I don't it's do a shapes. Square. No, it's a quadrangle. It's a quadrangle. I want a rectangle of pizza. Whatever. I think there's going to be romance drama because everybody's in love with Ben. Ben's single, yes? No, he is not. He actually has a podcast with his girlfriend called King of the Boyfriends. And it's a very interesting listen to hear Colleen's take on all of this. Interesting. Well, but Jonathan's married. Jonathan's married. Okay. So, I mean, he's out. He's taken. Yeah. But like, taken. Yeah. And Amanda's married. That's the other one that's married. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what I think is going to happen, but I think the women folk are going to... The women folk. I stand by it. We will have a female King of the Nerd. That's going to happen. And I will be pleasantly surprised if it's Caitlyn. So, okay, we're halfway through the season. It was already episode 4. Yeah. We're chugging through it. Yeah. Who do you see as your final 4 then? The final 4? Yeah, if we're going into Endgame. I think it's going to be Caitlyn, Rochelle, Lily, and either Heather or Amanda. You think it'd be all female final 4? Yes. Because it kind of happened in the past. Actually, the opposites have happened. In season 1, it was all females and Ivan. And in season 2, it was all males and Kayla. Oh, man. I don't know. That's a very tough question. I will think about it. Right. But I think a woman will win. I think the men will start dropping like flies now. Only 3 of them left. I mean, that said, they have been dropping like flies. We got rid of 4. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're just going to continue losing the men. Because the women, I say this as a woman. Right. We can be very manipulative. Sure. Yeah, and I don't know if gender has a lot to do with the players. I mean, it kind of has formed these alliances, but a lot of it is they see each other as players a lot of the time. And I know that at least when I was in the game, I didn't see it as like, oh, we only have like this many girls left or this girl or that girl or whatever. It was just this player, that player. That's how I saw it. But it's different when you're watching. And I don't see Jonathan and Ben making it to the end. Oh, okay. For like any particular reason, or just because the girl power is so strong? No, I think Jonathan for sure screwed himself this episode. Oh, yeah. Like, I think this episode is where he has lost. I think it will be discovered that he has made other alliances, and the girls will band together to get rid of him. Right. Colby, I could see going really far. Maybe he'll be in the final 4. I don't know about the rest of them. I also see Caitlyn sneakily going really far. Right. Yeah. Do you think that, because before we've been accused of the king kind of like flying under the radar, then coming up at the end, do you see anybody in that position now, or has everybody kind of had their exposure?
I think Colby was like that until this episode. This episode, we really got to know him.
Right. And got a bit of his backstory.
Yeah. And maybe Rochelle a little. Because she hasn't been at the forefront of any drama or like success.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So maybe. I don't know.
That's all right.
Life is
We
so
asked the
hard.
tough questions here.
Stop. It's the hardest part is that you know.
I do.
And then, like, you're sitting here asking me really good questions that if I knew, would be easy to talk about.
Right, yeah. Spoilers, as Ori said.
I know.
Also Alex Kingston.
Oh, River. Okay. Those are my predictions.
Yes.
I'm excited to see what the Horcrux is.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's a really exciting thing. As soon as we saw the snake on the mantle, I was like, now they can't use the snakes.
Right, yeah.
So I'm gonna predict that the Horcrux is either a whip or one of the heads.
The golden heads?
Yeah.
With some historical name on it.
Somebody random.
Right. This represents Ori, not the person on it.
Right. This is Madame Curie.
Yeah. And also Ori.
Yeah. Yes.
No, the Horcrux thing is a very sweet gesture, even though it's like murdering someone and splitting their soul for the sake of immortality.
I like the idea of bringing some artifact to not let them forget. And I definitely remember seeing in the second episode the
holy hand grenade.
I was like, the grenade.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting that's there. And I'm glad that we've explained it.
And I feel like with this season, they've done a good job of keeping like the presence of the past eliminated nerds are still kind of there. And like naming the boats after Jacob and Thomas and the Horcrux thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel them still.
You definitely do.
Yeah.
Great. Great stuff. I cannot wait for Friday.
Yay!
I'm going to order a Little Caesars pizza.
Oh! Are they sponsoring this show too?
No.
Okay.
I don't eat pizza, guys. I don't eat pizza. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me again.
Of course.
Xander, why don't you tell the people where they can find you online, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff?
You can find me on Twitter at Xanderific 2Rs1F, and that was taken on Instagram. So you can find me at Instagram, Xanderific. Did I even say that? Xanderific 2Rs1F, and on Instagram, Xanderific 1R2Fs.
Yeah.
Dang it. And on YouTube, I do top 3 recaps every week for King of the Nerds, and that comes out the Saturday after the episode, and that's at youtube.com/XanderVlogs. And
The biggest news.
Yay!
I don't know what that was, but it's the biggest news. Something.
Yeah,
Keep
and I
going.
also do challenges with each of the season 3 contestants. So Ori's will be coming up on this Wednesday, and we do the Cotton Ball Challenge.
And is there like, you guys are doing a Google Hangout each week?
Yeah, well, there are multiple Google Hangouts out there, and the cast is spread out through all of them, but the main one is Kayla's in the throne room with Kayla and Ivan.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and so
Very
you can
cool.
check out ontomars_Kayla for her Twitter, and you can find out all the information.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, if you want to find me, I'm online at yael.tv. That's yael.tv. There you'll find all the shows I do here at AfterBuzz, which is a whole bunch. Also, my fresh review of 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, boy.
That's right. I wrote a review.
Oh.
I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Google+, Facebook, Pinterest, Polyvore,
Tumblr?
Tumblr at Yael Tygiel. That's YaelTygiel. We will see you next Monday for more King of the Nerds.
Hey.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
See you
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.